over the years, I have assisted and tried to help and reach out with domestic violence victims so that they can grasp on to the value of themselves, so they can gain strength, so they can escape from their abuser. I know a lot of people ask, why do these women stay? Why do they go back? Why did they put up with it? Well, as one of those survivors, I'm going to tell you why. I know some people look at us and they say, oh, she's stupid. I could never put up with that. How could she be so naive? Honestly speaking, unless you wore the shoes that I used to wear, you cannot answer that question. But I am going to answer it. One of the reasons is that some people grow up exposed to domestic violence, to where that is all they know, and they think that is love, and then they think that's the way a relationship's supposed to go. They do not realize the value of their self. They do not realize the woman that they are or the man that they are. Because yes, there are men also that are in domestic violence situations. It's not just women. The second reason is financial. A lot of these women have depended on their abusers in order to have a shelter, in order to have food, in order to have a way of life, to where they feel like they cannot make it on their own. They're afraid of being homeless, of losing everything and not having anything. They're afraid of failure. They don't have the strength. Then you have what I call the master key of all senses, which is fear. Yes, that was my reason I stayed. That was my reason I went back. That was my reason I put up with it. My abuser had threatened my life. I remember a time in 2003 where one of the workers came to my door while his wife sat in the car to check on me because he seen the bruises on me when I was at work. I tried to warn him that my abuser was upstairs. When I closed the door, I went upstairs. And when I got to the top of the stairs, there he was. He asked me who was that at the door. And I told him. The next thing I know, I was attacked violently from the top of the stairs to the bottom. And when I fell, he started kicking me, pulling my hair out, and I was screaming for my life. My mother came in after getting a phone call from my neighbors on my blood cries, and she said enough. That's when he jumped up and he ran out the door. No, he was not trying to get away from me. He beat me out of rage. I suffered abuse from this man for 3 years. Why did I go back? He told me, if I gotta come looking for you, you will regret it. I knew what that meant. Now you wonder, when is the breaking point? My breaking point was when my youngest child was 1 year old. He was lying in the bed while my abuser beat me. When I fell across the bed, I was reaching for the telephone to call the police. He started choking me. He told me, if you ever call the cops, he said, I'll kill you. He said, I can get rid of your body and nobody know where you at or what happened. Trust me, when I looked at my son lying in the bed at 1 year old, And he was looking at all this. That was my breaking point. I could not allow my son to be exposed no further, or to grow up and continue on with this in history, to hurt, harm, or kill somebody else's child. So I left. Was that the end for me? No, it wasn't. He continued to control me by placing fear in my heart. He verbally abused me. He threatened to kick down my door and beat me and take my son. Yes, I lived in fear, which is still a connection with abuse. Whether you have physical bruises or whether you don't, if you verbally abuse someone, if you emotionally abuse them, if you mentally abuse them, there is no different. Not one of those are better than the other, because they all are a link on a chain of abuse. This is why I come to y'all and I say, I need for y'all to join with me in helping to support breaking this chain of abuse. It cannot be silenced anymore. My silence has been broken. And it was broken when my abuser knew that he could not hurt me no other way but through my son. Yes, through my son. He snatched him because I would not give him money. And I'm fighting within the system. Women today, it is hard to be a single mother as well as being a survivor. They tried to say that we develop anger problems. They tried to say that we are weak. Well, let me tell you about the anger problem. In a domestic violence victim, it is no such thing, because it's wounds that we have to heal from. Even though we don't have the bruises anymore, we still have this to deal with, and we still have this to deal with. And it's not easy. Enough is enough when we all stand together hand to hand and stand our ground and break our silence against people that abuse other people. Instead of asking, why did she stay? Instead of asking, how could she put up with it? Instead of asking, why did she go back? Why don't we turn those tables and ask, why did that abuser hit her like that? Why did that abuser put fear in her to where she couldn't think for herself? She couldn't move. She was afraid to go on. She couldn't leave. And most of all, why does that abuser feel he should get away with, or she should get away with, destroying another person's life? With every breath in my body, I am going to fight this. I'm going to be here, and I'm going to speak loud. But it's going to take more than me. I need for y'all to join with me, whether it's by donations, whether it's by directing people in the right path. I need for y'all to help these women and men and children. The percentage was low, but it's rising more now. Domestic violence and abuse is not okay. It's not a way to live.
All right. We are in the beginning of our show, and it's Domestic Abuse Awareness Month. Make sure you share, put those hearts up. Hey, if you enjoy what our special guest got to say today, please subscribe and follow. Make sure you tune in next week as the Grown Men Talking come to y'all with Child of Destruction. Trust me, this is one you don't want to miss. Also, next week, we will have another special guest, Dr. Jennifer Gilbert. Hey, she has stood her ground, spoke loud, and I'm telling you, the mountains have shooken. Make sure you tune in because I'm trust. This is something nutritional you don't want to miss out on. Also, we want to give a happy birthday to Faye McKenzie. Yes, that's my auntie. Happy birthday, love. We wish you many more. God bless you and all the support and love you have offered us. Have a great day tomorrow. And now, the host of the show will be interviewing our new guest. Well, she's not new. She's been here before, but she's coming here with Mo. Miss Eller Winston will be in the house as Mr. Dwight Robinson and soon to be Keisha will be coming in to hear her story and answer the questions that we need to know in order to heal our nation. Now over to Dwight.
Hello, y'all. Good evening, and welcome to Unspoken Hour. I am Dwight Robinson, and of course, you know, around October, this is Domestic Violence Month, where people come in and, you know, they tell their stories that what they've been through. So that might can help someone. So you never know. Hopefully soon we'll be joined by Miss Keisha Shackle. She is running a little late, so they went and got me. So without further ado, let's welcome our special guest, Miss Eller Winston, to the show so we can get it started.
For hosting me, everyone. Thank you.
Hello there. How are you? How are you doing there?
I am at peace and abundant. Can't complain at all. Been through a lot, but you survive a lot, right?
Yes, ma'am. God is good, and it's true. We had you on the you. I think it was maybe 3 years ago, I believe.
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
Years.
It's been
Yeah.
years.
So it's been a while since we talked and touched base and everything. We are so happy to have you here tonight with us so we can get to see what's going on and what happened during the last time that we talked to you. So let me just ask you, as I'm trying to get my phone to come back on. You are head of an organization. Is it DIMS?
Yes, that is the DIMS Development Society. We are a society devoted to personal and professional development. So we have, a couple things going on inside in-house. So of course we have our call center that is remote. We are, of course, here in San Antonio, Texas. We're also in other different states as well. You definitely visit the website and see those states who qualify to be able to work under our organization.
Oh, great! And see, and that's how I've been out the circus for a while, because I'm like, I didn't even know y'all had something like that in San Antonio, and there was another place as well that y'all have one in another state as well. What is that one? I was trying to remember, but you have one in San Antonio. You had 2 locations, right?
Yes, location-wise, yes, it's going to be in the Dallas Fort Worth area. It's in Cleveland, small little city in there.
Okay.
Yes, that's one of our locations. Of course, we're partnered with Texas Workforce Commission and Ready to Work, Tarrant County and San Antonio. So we, of course, are continuing to help our community in any way that we can, because that's just me. That's me. If anyone knows me personally, they know I want to help.
Yes.
Help.
Now, how long has this company been out?
Well, the call center, this is going on about a year and a half now. So this is my new baby, but the Development Society, we've been around since 2022. And now we're rocking and rolling as far as society members, going in, helping other organizations with their development needs, as far as their staff development, their financial development. We go into quality and risk analytics because that's in my field. So we want to continue to help not just individuals, but professional companies, corporations, small businesses. We're wanting to help.
Okay. Love that. Now, is this something that, what gave you I guess Well, I'm trying to say, what gave you the motivation just to start this corporation and everything that help other people? And
Well, I guess it stems from all being able to survive from a domestic violence situation. If you have been in a situation where you had to survive, you would know what areas you want to help others in. And for me, that is helping in all sectors. I want to be able to continue to help. So because I was able to survive these situations, now I have tools that I've either help myself gain, have mentors to help me continue to grow myself, or continue to either enlighten myself through God in me, you know? So it's just different areas, different sectors that I have gained the experience in that not just help me, but now I can help others.
Hey, man, I like that. Yes, ma'am. Now, what I want to make sure I'm saying this right. What is I believe is the hood of Two Holy House?
Yes. This is another partnership I am with. This is the Thuggin' for Christ Ministries. They have a ministry, or a Hood to Holy House, which is a shelter for young men between the ages of 18 to 24. So if you know any individuals needing to be housed, needing those skills, we go in and help them with those skills and gain that experience that they need to be, you know, better citizens. We don't want hoodlums running around. So if we can teach them how, because they don't know, right? If we can teach them, then we make it, you know, mold them to be what they may figure out what they want to be in the future. But wow. we all need to be taught, right? Yes.
Yes, I like that. Now, do you have like a person that assists you, or another person that help you run this?
This organization, Thuggin' for Christ, is founded by Michon Herschler. So you guys can definitely go and visit their website, see what he has to offer. He's a great mentor. So any gentleman out there needing professional or personal development, he is definitely able to help you from a male's perspective, you know. And we also have Cedric Bellamy with Thuggin' for Christ, not Thuggin' for Christ, but Street Legend. He goes in and help as well as mentorship. So we want to continue to help in any way that we can.
That's a blessing. I love that. Yes. We need to get one here, and hopefully maybe we can get one here. But I mean, San Antonio's not that far from Austin, but you know, we can definitely use something like that here in Austin. Definitely. Yeah. So the last time we talked with you, and I do believe you have a daughter, right?
Yes, I have two little humans. Yes, one daughter, one son. I think that's it for me. Yes, I have two little humans.
So how they been? I mean, since the last time we talked, are they doing, you know, well in school and everything?
Yes, they are doing great. Of course, one is a teenager now, so I'm going through teenage girl things, but I'm so happy. I'm proud to be their mother. I have seen them grow in tremendous ways, and I can say that I'm very proud. I'm proud to be their mom, you know. So those are my road dogs there. Those two little ones. Yes.
Yes, they are. Now this program, it has so much to offer. I hear some music. Well, before we come back to those questions, I hear some music in the background, so don't y'all go nowhere. We'll be back in 2 and 2, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Is now living under some form of lockdown. And while home may be the safest space to be, it's not the case for everyone. Across the globe, women and children who suffer from domestic violence have no escape from their abusers during quarantine. Activists are already reporting.
places where COVID-19 has a grip.
The initial reports coming out of China is that domestic violence has gone up threefold. There was a report yesterday that came out of France saying that their rates of domestic violence have already gone up by 30%.
Support groups are asking neighbors and family members to check in as much as they can to set up secret signs to let them know they're okay.
All right. Make sure y'all tune in next week as the Grown Men Talking Incorporated comes to your screens with a child of destruction. If you are dealing with children that destroy your home or destroy your property out of anger, make sure that you get some help. They will be discussing this next Friday. Also, next Saturday, we have our second guest coming on for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which will be Dr. Jennifer Gilbert in the house. Make sure y'all tune in live. And also, we want to give out a happy birthday, Miss Faye McKenzie. She is turning young tomorrow, so make sure y'all put up y'all purple hearts. Tell her happy birthday, and we're going to go ahead and hand it over to Keisha.
All right. Hello, everyone. So glad to be here. We are, Dwight, what part have we?
Well,
Oh, there she goes.
well, what we gonna
Hello.
talk about? We just saw a video,
Hello.
and it's about I'm sorry, I'm a little emotional that piece, that Spicy show. We in Domestic Violence Month, and it's something that needs to be talked about. So before I even get to Miss Winston, I just want to say my mom herself, she was married, and she was like in a certain domestic violence, and it's hard. A lot of people go through it, emotional and physical, and it's something that needs to be talked about. It definitely needs to be talked about. So, Miss Winston, I just want to ask you about the video we just saw and the things that you experienced, in your life. What can you say about the video we just saw and what you experienced during that time that you was going through that?
At that moment, I felt trapped. I felt like I didn't know how to get out of the situation. How do I talk to somebody? How do I even let someone know that I'm going through this with the father of a child? How do I tell my child, okay, I'm ready to leave because this isn't healthy? I felt alone. It was a situation where I was in a box and I couldn't get out. Very emotional.
And one thing about it is, because not only is it physically, it's mentally, and especially when we had that pandemic, when a lot of people was home, they couldn't go to work, and just to think of the women, and I guess even the children, and a couple of men that had to stay home, it was like you were just locked up in a cage with the animal, because you couldn't go nowhere, and this person is just, they mad because they can't get out, so that's another thing they throw at you. And during that time, it went up. Domestic violence, the rates went up during this time, where people were stuck at home with the person that was just mentally abusing them physically, and like you said, you just feel trapped. You just can't go nowhere, and that's a lot. People out there right now that's going through that. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Keisha take it from there because she came in late. So basically that's where we at right now, Keisha. So did she leave?
I can say the good thing, fortunately, I did not go through my domestic violence situation during COVID. It was years prior. However, I can only imagine if I was stuck there and I was able to go to work and go to, school, I went to,
right.
different things. I was able to get out of the house and maybe 10, 20 minutes away from this person, you know, to get my head together slightly. But to be in a room with one person all the time, 24/7, it can be daunting. It can be very hard on a person's mental state of mind, not even physically, because I mean, I can only imagine how many fatalities came out of COVID during just domestic violence situations. I can only imagine. And somebody definitely needs to look into those numbers.
Yes, you're right. Let me ask you this. During the time that you was going through it, the kids, that's another thing, because children, they hear, the children can hear what's going on. Sometimes when that goes on, I guess maybe the other party, maybe they don't care, or the kids can be asleep. They can have a big effect on children in a lot of ways. During that time in your life, did the children even, hear what was going on, or were they even home during this time?
Yes, the good thing is my son didn't experience the violence, but my daughter did. It was moments where she didn't want to come home. She went to family members' homes, and when it was time to come back, she was just scared. I will never forget. She would cry, and it would make me cry because I know why she didn't want to come home, but I didn't want to say why. So that puts a lot of strain on a mother. But she's the one who said, "Mommy, why can't we leave?" You know what? You're right. Why can't we leave? Let's go. And I knew it was going to be a fight. The day we left, I was fighting. It was a physical fight. It was mental. It was almost to the death. Unfortunately, I don't understand why we can't leave in peace, but it was ugly. And I knew it was time to get out like that. And I did. I sucked it up and I said, well, it's time to fight. And I did. I got out of there, and it's been a long time, and I'm glad I survived, because there's not too many that can say they did. And we want to continue to encourage women in the situations to leave. If you are thinking the children are the reason why you have to stay, please don't make that be the reason, because at the end of the day, you're creating abusers as the longer you stay. So you want to be able to get out of there. I know it's hard on women when we're in that time, but we can find that strength. We are strong, especially after we survive, especially getting out of the situation. You just turn into like that mother bear, no one, not even the other parent, can stop you from protecting your children. And leaving the situation is protecting your children. So it is okay to leave, ladies. It's okay. And if you need help, there's hotlines. Miss Spicy Gray has these hotlines for you. There's text numbers. There's homes, especially if you're in the San Antonio area. Please reach out if you need that help. I know we're live in many different places, but if you are needing help getting out, you can find that strength. Look at your children in your eyes and say, "We got this," and go.
And I agree with you, Miss, because you know what, you're so right, because ladies, there's a number on there you can call, but if anything, do it for your children, because it has an effect on your kids. And this is why a lot of boys, especially, I'll use Chris Brown for example, when they see that, they think it's okay to do these things. When especially a boy child sees his father hitting on his mom, that can pass on from generation to generation. They can end up being like that because it just mentally messed them up. And anything, you definitely need to leave for the sake of your children, because that has such an effect on them.
Yes.
Have your daughter, since your daughter was there, did as she became older, do she even bring up some of those bad memories sometimes? Did she ever have any nightmares about it?
She was so young. Eventually she forgot. I remember when she was about 6, she did mention it. Like, "Do you remember when you used to fight my dad?" And I was like, "Oh," you remember that. But she doesn't. It's not even a thought right now. And I'm so glad, because this is not a norm for her. So if she's ever in the situation, she's going to be able to fight, recognize the signs, and never be inside that situation because her mom was a survivor of those situations, right?
Yes, yes. You know what? Yes, and one thing about it now, hopefully he hasn't did this. Because I know some people, what they'll do, they'll wait a few months, they might wait a couple of years. Has he ever, like, even try to call, write a letter, somehow reach out to you to, I guess, apologize for what he had, what he put you through?
The apologies that I have received was more of apology that he blamed me of. It just turned out to be, I apologize for you being in a situation. And I think I've grown to a place where I don't even listen to it. An abuser is always going to be an abuser. If that's not physically, it's going to be verbally. And if it's not verbally, it's going to be mentally. And he can no longer have access to me in that way. So I wouldn't know now. I wouldn't know what he would try to do.
Wow. But you know what? I know what because I guess, some abusers, they'll talk. They seem so, I guess, normal. And there's somebody, you fall in love with. And I guess what I'm trying to say, what was one of the first red flags or signs that you start noticing when he started being the way he was towards you in an abusive way? Was it mentally first, or did it start just as a physical abuse, or did it start off as being mental or during that time y'all was together?
It started off with more of control and isolation. Oh, well, I can love you better than that. Those are words that it's always been said. You don't have to go over there because they're looking at you like it was always a planting of the seed of something negative. And
he was just trying to, I guess, keep you separated from, because most abuse, they're trying to keep you away from your family, your friends. They try to isolate you, so they just had, like you said, more control of you, so they can do what they do.
Right.
So I guess also starting the point where he's trying to tell you how to dress a certain way and everything as well.
Yeah, I remember a time where I was simply going to church, and I had on a dress that I would typically wear to church. I didn't have on stockings this particular time, but I would wear it with heels. I would even wear that dress to work. And at the time I was working at a law firm, so it was a professional dress. It wasn't provocative or in any type of way. But we fought down the street. We were in the street. All I wanted to do was go to church because I had on a dress that I would wear typically to work. It was very confusing. I blame myself. In all reality, to this day, I blame me. I forgive me, but I blame me for not knowing A, who I was at the time, B, not recognizing the signs of abuse, and C, being able to be around something, knowing that I was uncomfortable with it, but staying because of a child. Yes, I would want my child to be raised with her father, but I would not want her to be raised by an abuser, because she's now going to grow up and then be abused. And I'm not having that. We will fight.
And you know what? I definitely agree with you, because the longer you stay in there, like I said, it seems like it's, like I said, like a normal. Like I said, when young boys see that, they do that. And then, of course, with girls, I guess some of them take it as, that's the way it's supposed to be. This is what love is supposed to be, and that's what it's not supposed to be. And some women stay in there so long to where, like I said, it's passed on to the children, where young girls go to be young ladies, and they feel like this is what love's supposed to be like, and the young boys grow up thinking this is what you're supposed to do. So you have to stop that by any means necessary. for how long actually did you stay? Years? Was it like, I think over 10 years before you decided to get out that relationship?
No, it was 3. It
3.
was 3 years. My daughter was 3, and I had to leave at that moment.
Wow.
I stayed as long as I could,
Mhm.
as I thought I could stay for my child, but I had to go.
Wow. Let me ask you this. Have you talked to somebody secretly, like tell us people, whoever had a friend or someone in the church or anybody, let them know what was going on in your household?
People seen the signs. I didn't have to say anything.
Mm.
They seen it. I was
So-
just the one in denial.
So they can see because of your energy, the way your personality was. Let me ask, did he leave any bruises on you?
Oh, absolutely. There was bruises. I remember my landlord questioned me like, "Hey, what is the blood on the wall?" It was like a little splatter. Sorry to get a little personal, but it was a little splatter, and I was like, "Wow, it was that ugly where we had to fight like this." And I want to say for parents, it's very imperative to, if you having an agreement, make sure you're doing it away from your children. This is not something your children need to see, because some adults have arguments. Unfortunately, some parents are arguing all the time. This is what they do. This is their normal, is to argue. And the children see that, they hear it, and that's a form of abuse. So when we think of abuse, and if we are really putting our children in that way of being abused later, then we have to start thinking about our actions. Our actions truly dictate how these children are being raised and brought up and what they go through in the future. Now, I can't say my child won't go through a domestic violence situation, but I can say she would know what it would look like to not be in one. I hope she doesn't. I will personally arrest them myself. I would gladly. Here's my cuffs, a custom made, custom cuffs. I will personally do that, but he would know those signs.
But yes, and because one of us like a teenager, right? And one is kind of getting there, because I'm pretty sure it's just like me when I was talking to my children, especially the boys, about the birds and the bees and things, because you have to get them prepared about what they're about to face in life. So have you actually sat down with your children and talked to them about abuse, and or you just wait for them to get a little bit older before you sit down and have that talk with them?
Oh no, I don't wait to do anything with my little humans. They're little humans first off, so they need to be equipped on how to live, and especially if they're going to be out in society. So I don't sugarcoat anything with them. I make sure I tell them how it is, what it is, why you shouldn't, why this is the cause and effect if so. So I keep an open door. An open policy, I would say, because they witness so much. This is a new day and age than I grew up in, and I can say they have so much access to so much. I would say the World Wide Web. So they have we have to approach them a little differently because of what they are exposed to.
Right. Well, okay. With that being said, we will be back. We're about to take commercial breaks. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Coming now, follow my lead. Come coming now, follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. Last night with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling.
All right. I want to thank everyone over there at both pages of Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Rumble. If you're enjoying this segment, please subscribe, put your heart up, purple hearts, please, in the comment area. But also press that like button. Make sure you tune in next Friday as a Grown Man Talking Incorporated, where we can be returning to your screens. If you think last night was tasty, wait till they bring this to the stage. Child of Destruction. Also, next Saturday, we will have Dr. Jennifer Gilbert in the building. Dr. Jennifer Gilbert, she's coming to shake ground. So make sure that you got those notifications on, because I'm telling you, if you miss it, you're just going to have to watch the rerun on YouTube. But hey, it's going to be something good. Also, we want to give a shout out tomorrow. God bless. Happy birthday, Faye McKenzie, which is also my auntie. Love her very much. She has been supporting us throughout, and we really appreciate. Love you. Thank you so much. Also, if you have a birthday shout out that you want to give here on the Unspoken Art Discussion Hour, or even Grown Men Talking Incorporated, just inbox me or either Dwight, and we'll make sure we give that shout out as well. Now over to Dwight and Keisha.
Well, Dan Spice, I guess you can see us, huh? Keisha's here, she had a little difficulty, so good thing she's a neighbor, so she's just running over here. So thank Keisha for joining us in. So she has some questions, and then I'll jump in.
All right. Hello, Miss Eller. How are you doing today?
I am at peace and abundant. How are you?
I'm good. It is so good to see you back. When I saw your name, I'm like, I think we spoke to her. And then after I got to thinking, I'm like, that is her. So I am so excited to have you back, because I do have some questions for you.
Okay.
The first one is, I've been listening. My internet was kind of silly, but I've been listening here and there, and I've been hearing, the things that, you went through as far as the domestic violence and all of that stuff. So I just had some questions, because you are back and you are a grand survivor. So thank God for that. So I just want to know, when you were coming out, did you have to seek professional, like professional psychiatrists, professional therapists, for you, for your family? How did that go about?
I did not seek professional help. I think I sought out the best professional help, and that was God. So I wasn't able to go get help professionally, but for some reason, I now have emotional intelligence.
That is awesome. So you have a real strong faith background that has helped you with family, your church members and everything. So that is wonderful. So what would you just recommend for ladies and men that are not connected on a spiritual level? What, just to help them get through, their struggle coming out of, or still in trying to get out of? What would you suggest they turn to for just the mental part of it?
I would definitely suggest help. Seeking some type of therapy, counseling, just to get those resilience tools of healing. You need tools. There are different methods that you can use mentally to help you heal. And I would always suggest to get help, seek help. I'm not against it. Even though I went God's route, I cannot speak for anybody outside of that.
That's wonderful. I have another question for you. So even when you were walking through your domestic violence, at that time, what was your biggest motivation then, and what is your biggest motivation now? How do they align together?
Yes, my child, and now my children. So I have more. I have just two more, but I would say my children were my driving force. They always drive me to any success I want to, and getting out of that domestic situation, my daughter was definitely that driving force, especially when she said, "Mom, we can leave." You're right. You're right. And listen to your children. Listen to your children. It's important.
Yes. You definitely do that. Did you have? Let me ask you this, because I can't remember. You didn't have any brothers or nothing like that, right?
Brothers?
Yes.
I did have. I do have brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to tell them because
that's what I was gonna say.
I didn't want them to be in jail, because
Right.
they are those kind of brothers. So I always wanted to hide it. I always felt like, oh, I don't know why, for some reason, we want to protect the abuser.
Yes.
For some reason, I didn't say anything because I wanted to protect the father of my child. It sounds so crazy now, but I believe not telling them only saved them and allowed me to go through the situation that I put myself in.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, because I have sisters, I have a daughter, and trust me, if they come to say, "Hey, I'm being physically and mentally abused," I'm sorry, I'm gonna go down there and do something. I'm not gonna try to kill somebody, but me and him gonna have a man-to-man talk, because I come from a very protective family, and that's just something that we just don't play. So yeah, my sister and I have a daughter that's 24, and ever came and told me something like that, I don't know. You might get my bail money ready, because it ain't gonna be pretty. It's
I would say I don't think I ever want them to come across him. Now that they know what happened, I don't ever want them to be in the same room, because I can't say they have healed as much as I have healed,
Right. I think a lot of it is when we're in it, we're trying to protect the person that's harming us as well as our own protection. We don't want to be looked at as weak, and we don't want to be looked at as someone that is actually walking through that. So there's a couple of reasons why we don't go, tell the police, or, tell the brothers, or tell another man or somebody that can help us, is because we don't want to have our business out. Even though we're going through hell and high water, we don't want it to be out, because we know that there's going to be consequences to stop it. And then what if we tell a person that can't help us, and that's just going to make it worse for us?
And what I like to say is, y'all both correct, because like I said a few minutes on the show, my mom was married to my stepfather. And my stepfather was being like a little mental abuser. I just remember one day, me and my brother was out playing pool. And then I can't remember who called. I don't know if it was a neighbor, Melissa, or somebody like that called, because he had put his hands on my mom. And let me tell you, when I heard that, me and my brother went in there, and it was kind of ugly. I wasn't planning on doing whatever, but I definitely had to pull my brother, because my brother was going to put him in a different dimension. He was about to take him out of here. So yeah, and I believe a lot of women don't want that, because fathers and sons and things like that. Yeah, we don't play when it comes to our moms, our sister, and to hear a man mentally or physically abuse her. Yeah, we just not gonna play that. We're just not gonna play that. So,
I have men that are not my brothers or blood relatives that will go after that situation. So
yeah, because being the man, like I said, we all go through certain things and anger, but for whatever reason, that these men, like I said, these men could have grew up in a home where they saw their father abusing their mom. They think it's okay, which is not. And like I said, a lot of times y'all young ladies see and they think it's okay to be abused, but it just needs to be stopped. And I'm glad that we are talking about this. And I just want everybody know, if they're looking at the show, y'all need help. There's a number down there, and she has programs to help as well. So this is something serious, very serious, and I'm glad that we're sitting here talking about it. What else can you just say to the women out there that might be going through this? Because I'm pretty sure as we talking right now, it's happening. So how can we reach out to these people that are afraid to talk? Just like you said, when you go by yourself, you don't want to talk to tell your dad, your mom, or your brother, because you don't want it to go to that next level. So
I would say, of course, get help. Get help. There's not a day that goes by that you're safer. It's going to get worse.
Mhm.
It's going to get uglier. Um, you're going to be more damaged each day you stay. So get the help. Look at your children and see if this really what I want my children to see. And I wanna also mention this. Yes, there's a high percentage of women being abused, but let's not forget about the men.
Yes.
There are men out here who are going through it in silence, and they don't want to come out based off of ego. But
Yeah.
there are women who are continuing to mentally and physically abuse these men, and they
Yeah.
need help too. So not only do we want to mention these women, but we also want to mention the men being abused as well.
And you're
Good
right.
help.
You're right. Because I hope I'm not gonna mention his name, but I had a friend, and he was basically being abused by his wife. Not only was she mentally abusing him, she was popping him upside the mouth. She even knocked a few teeth out. You know, he tried to play all that and say he played basketball, but I mean, me and my other friend, we knew, and we said, "Hey, look, man, look, you just got to leave her." And he just refused to leave her. He just refused, even if she was just dogging him out. And men don't talk about as much as women because, like, just like you said, they just something they stay silent about. You know, women, they come out more, but men definitely don't really say anything about that. And there's a lot of men that's going through that today. So I'm glad you brought that up because it's true. Men really do go through
I think for men, it's more who's gonna believe me?
that.
Right.
You know, who's gonna believe that a woman is, now the mental abuse, yes, because that's words. That's you striking him down every chance you get. But when it comes to a man telling the police or the judge that, this woman is, beating me and doing that, how likely are they going to be to believe you unless you have some physical marks on you? So a lot of men just don't want to go through the embarrassment of even letting another man know, man, you're supposed to be the man. How letting a woman box you up? But it can be done because not all men walk around and hit on women. There are some gentle men that don't want to go that route. So, if you're a man and you're listening to this, please get help. You are not alone. You are not going to be criticized. You're not going to be belittled. Get help because you deserve to have peace and to live in peace, just like us females. So please get help. But Eller, I did want to tell you that, just your comeback is awesome because some women don't have the strength. They don't have the peace. They don't have the support to come back. Once they've been traumatized for so long, that is where they live. That is, even if they're away from the abuser, that is where they live. That is where they stay. Their self-worth is so low. They have no buildup in themselves. Everything they do is in their eyes not worthy. So just looking at you and your accomplishments, finding your higher peace, that says a lot. So I want anybody looking at this to see that it can be done. It's not easy, and we're not telling you it's easy, but every day that you are on the other side of being free, the other side of not being talked crazy to or hit upside your head or afraid to speak, you are closer to finding your peace. And I hope that you want that for yourselves. If you don't want it for nobody else, want it for the people that love you. Because as a mother, if my daughter's in a situation that I can't help her get out of, that's hurting me. Because sometimes people go through psychosis to where they get in a state of what's happening to them is normal, and it's hard to try to get those people out of that mind frame because they've been beat into it or talked into it. So it's kind of hard to fight for those people to get them out. So I'm really thankful and grateful. All praises to God that you were able to get out, and that you're living in your.
It starts with self. Remember, you are still loved. You are still enough. You know, these are things I had to tell myself to get out. I am still worthy. These are things you can tell yourself just to ignite, you know, that ignition to leave. You know, there's things you could do for you. Don't forget you. And I'm telling myself this to this day. Don't forget you. Always think about yourself. The first law of nature is self-preservation. So when it comes down to you breathing or someone else breathing, you got to choose you. And your children need you to breathe. So make sure you're always remembering it's an extension of you that is still needing you to breathe. So it's always going to be a challenge. Again, like I mentioned earlier, it took me the day I left, it took me to fight. I physically had to fight my way out of this situation, but I did, you know, and I'm grateful for it. Yes, I left. I had bruises, y'all. I fought for my life, but I did it. I did it. Thank God.
Yes.
And in that situation, I lost 2 other children. I had a set of twins after my daughter, and I lost those babies due to domestic violence. So that's another thing that helped me move forward, is being able to continue to go through these traumatic situations back to back and saying, why am I still here?
Right.
Do I not love myself enough? And I'm going to say, no, I didn't. I didn't, because I did not know that the abuse was in love. So I didn't love myself. So once you can recognize that love for self, you are able to accomplish so much more. And our minds is so important. We always got to be able to stay on that positive mind state, you know, just to continue. It's hard. It's very hard, but we can do it. And if you do, you're going to be sitting in your success like, man, yes, I lost, you know, a couple teeth. I lost some children, but I'm out. I made it. I have a breath. I can breathe. I lie every day. So it's amazing that I'm able to say I survived.
Yes. And with that,
they
y'all,
can too.
And with that, don't y'all go nowhere. We'll be right back. So don't go nowhere. 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
Yo, I wanna know how you feel, man. What you think you a real man? What about your children? This shit right here is gonna kill them. Thought she married a goodie, but she married a bully. Fuck that, yo, she married a pussy. A real man never puts his hands on a woman. No way is it okay. Whether male or female, it goes both ways. It doesn't matter who's the higher rate. You never touch somebody in a violent way. You're so alone though. You might die if you don't go. See, it's hard to take, you can't escape. It's like you're imprisoned in your own home. 1 second you get a nice kiss, the next you might get a right fist. It could be any night. You knew he had a temper, but never like this. What a monster he's turned into. Now mentally you're turning too. It's not just hurting you. If you don't leave now, he might murder you. You thought you were gonna be great. Now you want to escape, but you're scared as shit. You're afraid of the dark, and the darkness right now is where you live. You don't need to be brave. Stop leaving it be. Your kids are the reason you stay, but they need to be the reason you leave. That's it, you've got to leave. I hope they don't understand what they see. And if they do understand, then I hope they view him as what not to be. I believe it's time for peace. Here's some words a wife will need. You gotta know that abuse is the issue. As soon as he hits you, it's time to leave. Never knew he was crazy as this. Feels so trapped, no escaping his shit. It ain't about taking a hit. He'll say anything just to make you forgive. No apology will ever change what he did. Can't ever take back breaking your ribs. You gotta do it for the sake of the kids, so they know it ain't cool to be raising a fist. It doesn't matter if you're mental.
All right. This has been a very fruitful segment, and we truly appreciate Miss Eller coming in and volunteering to break her silence. Just remember next Friday to tune in to Grown Men Talking Incorporated as they come in on the topic of child of destruction. Also, next Saturday, we'll have our second guest come on for Domestic Violence Month. Dr. Jennifer Gilbert will be in the house. So make sure y'all tune in because, she has a lot of info, nutrition to offer, and very insightful. And lastly, we want to give a happy blessed birthday to Faye McKenzie, my auntie. Thank you so much for loving us and supporting us the way you have. Have a very happy birthday on tomorrow. And if you know anyone that's having a birthday coming up and you want to give them a shout out here on the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour or Grown Men Talking Incorporated, hit either me or Dwight up and we will make sure that get posted. Now over to Dwight and Keisha.
All right. I love that video. Spice, where you get that song from, that video from? TikTok?
That was nice. That was nicely said.
Yeah, I agree with everything. That young man, he was speaking nothing but the truth. I love that. I really do love that. And just to say, men do go. I'm put it like this. Y'all know me. I tell about my life experience. When I was in a so-called, well, if you want to call it abuse, she was more mentally abused. And she was one time, I think I said on the show, she actually tried to keep me from leaving the house. I had to jump out the second store's window just to get away from her. Yeah. So I wasn't gonna put my hands on her because for me to get through the door, I had to grab her. I don't know if that's what she wanted me to do, so she can, I guess, wrestle me down or something like that. I said, that's okay. I'll get out, but you don't go out the window.
Well, being that she was trying to keep you hostage, and I know all people understand this, no matter whether you're married or not, being that she was trying to keep you hostage and you had no other way out,
I jump out
of something. Yes, it is abuse, but it also falls under crime as well because she had tried to hold you against your own will.
Against my will. And then she tried to almost ran me over with the car.
Oh yeah, she's abusive.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Well, good thing you got out of that.
Good thing, yeah, because I wasn't worried about jumping out the window. I'm strong. People, I stay in shape. But the car thing, no, I ain't Superman. I could have been roadkill, but that's just how serious it get.
But you don't see those signs when you first start talking to somebody, like the gentleman in the song was saying, or you either ignore the red flags, or you don't. He doesn't show that right away until you're in it, and then once you're in it, then. The verbal abuse starts, and then the next thing you getting hit in the mouth, or can't they get real possessive. You can't wear this, you can't go here. Who are you talking to? They want to check your phone. All of those signs we ignore as men and women, because women do it to men too. Those signs are ignored. If you can pick those signs up ASAP and exit stage left, I think that'll save a lot of our turmoil and our heartache, because we just want to be with this man. He is the man, and I want to be with him. But behind closed doors, you getting beat up or verbally abused, and you're scared to say anything. Putting on makeup to cover up your his little boo boos, and but you're gonna have that one smart coworker that's gonna pick up on it. And tell you that you lying, because women know. Women know.
We do know, because there are signs. We know it in women and we know it in men.
Yes.
When we go through abuse, even if it's not a physical abuse, we know when someone's going through it because they're really down. They're really they hold their head down. You know, you can see that their self-esteem has been damaged by someone. You know, if it's not themselves, it has to be someone else first in order for them to be able to harm themselves, because they had to be taught to harm themselves in that way. So it all starts with, who are you believing? Are you believing in yourself, or are you believing in what others are saying?
And you know, I just want it's a movie out. You know, that movie we all seen, What Love Had to Do With. You see Tina Turner went through all that abuse with Ike. I mean, the physical, the mental, and I mean, she probably got away. She's still in for years. I mean, dang, that was. I mean, her friend that was in that restaurant when he threw that cake at her, and she told Tina, "You crazy if you stay with this man." And even her own mama, what was so bad about it, her own mama knew that she was getting abused. Didn't care, because Ike was buying that house, buying her nice car. So the mama sold her out for material things. I mean, how low can you? I mean, your daughter's getting abused, but as long as the money came in, you didn't really care. You just looked the other way. And that's just crazy to me.
But they make us the person that's harming you, make it as if you can't make it without them. In some cases, we have a person that comes to my job, and before she can do anything, she has to get permission. She can't do nothing without permission, nothing whatsoever. And to me, that's a form of abuse, because you're an adult, but you can't make no decisions on money, on clothes, where you going, how long you gonna be gone. If you're out a little longer, you got to call in. That's a narcissistic personality first, and then that is someone that wants to be in complete control, which lets you know there's something wrong with that person. They've lost control somewhere else, so now they want to put their bare grip down on the person that they're supposed to love and care for. So you see it, but then what do? You see it. I see it with my own eyes.
Well, I would say something. Say something to him. Hey, look, I noticed you're a little bruised over there. You know, do you want to talk about it? We can. Don't say it in a way where they're feeling attacked, but definitely bring it to their attention. I'm noticing this, and be straightforward. You have bruises I don't see before. I'm not used to seeing you with, this type of behavior. You're more uppity. Why are you sad? Check them. I would say, because they don't even know. For me, I didn't know I was even in the situation. I knew I was being abused, but I didn't know to what extent, because I was blind to a lot of things. So I didn't believe I was in the situation because I was so in denial, but I was in the situation in denial. So in order for me to have waken up to it, I needed somebody to say, hey, look, we're noticing you're acting different. You got bruises everywhere.
Right.
And I would always, oh no, they're, play bruises, or, I bruise easily. No, these are signs. So if they're giving these type of excuses, I would say go deeper, dig deeper.
And you know what? It was a lady. And I don't know. I mean, we at first we got 11 about it. I'm like, what was she trying to say? She trying to tell us there was hickeys. Hickeys.
Hickeys on your own.
On your eye. Your eye got sucking. I mean, she literally, when she took those shades off,
he was sucking on her eye.
She told us, I said, is she playing with my intelligence? She gonna sit there and tell me those are hickeys? The man put hickeys on your eyes and your back and your. I mean, that was been a busy night because it was all over her body.
That was her wanting to protect him.
Yeah,
she didn't want him to get in trouble, because he didn't want you admit to it. Then some action has to start being taken, and we got to call the police, and we got to get you to the hospital so they can document everything and build this case up. And we don't want that.
But you know what?
Because we don't want him to go down.
I snitched on her. I did snitch on her. I mean, I was wrong, but I went to her personal file and I called her mama and I talked to her. I said, look, and her mama didn't know. After her mama found out, after daddy found out, oh, the game was over.
Mm-hmm.
The game was over. But even her mama had to laugh at that. Say, she told y'all what? She said it was hickeys. I mean, but this is on the serious side. This is some of the things that some people do. They don't.
Yes.
You know,
And
they
I
don't
can
want
laugh
nobody to
about this. Yeah, I can laugh about this now because it's been so long. But I remember one black eye, one of the many. I blamed it on my child. Like,
oh man,
I remember. Oh no, she was playing with a toy. I remember trying to justify this black eye, and it sounds so ridiculous. I'm sure the other person was looking at me like, "Are you stupid, dumb, or slow, or which one do you think I am?" You know. So they were looking at me like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
We know you're getting abused.
Come up. You sit up all night because you know you got to go to work the next day. So you sit up all night trying to come up with your alibi.
Wow.
It's the alibi.
You know that you got to have something because people are going to see. Like you can't sit in your job all day with your sunglasses on.
Yeah.
So you got to, okay, what am I going to tell them? Okay, well, I used that last time. So you got to keep lying to protect him, and you're only hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It could be because you don't know what to do. You don't know what's going to happen next. Because most perpetrators, they're going to have control of your money, your credit card.
Yep.
They're going to have control of everything. So they do that to keep you trapped because you don't want to be on the street out there with no money. So you stay there and you just continue to deal with it. So if anybody is in that situation, there is a number on the screen. There are people that can get you out. If you got to leave that material stuff, if you got to leave that money and start from the very bottom to have your peace and to have you back, call that number and get you some help.
Please call that
because there is help and they can get you out of there.
And just one thing for the men, I know some men watching. There's nothing wrong getting help. I know a lot of y'all men got y'all pride because you don't want people to rag on you because you're getting beat up by a woman. Look, I'm gonna tell you that women can hit strong. There's some strong women out there. They can hit hard, even though the men are physical stronger. But let me tell you, well, in his case, I ain't gonna lie, the girl was about 6'8", 6'9", at least 270, and he was about, I guess, about 5'9", maybe 160. So she was rag dogging him. I mean, just them playing, but they quote unquote were playing. I said, man, I want her playing with me like that. I want her playing with me like the way she was dragging him around like one of those, I guess, cavemen dragging the woman by the hair, but she was dragging him by his pants. And this one was physically strong. I mean, she used to play with me like, why you in that martial art? And I'm like, damn, this woman left a handprint on my chest. So I don't imagine what he was saying when we found out he got some teeth knocked out. And, oh, I'm okay. But me and we knew he wasn't okay. He was scared. He was really scared of this woman. And not only that, she was taking all his money. He never had no money because she was taking everything. So,
but he would be wrong. He would be wrong if he would defend himself or she's on top of him. He stab her or shoot her. So unfortunate situations do happen when you're trying to survive, but he would be the one in the wrong and no one would believe him. Because so we got to protect these men too.
Oh, I would have believed him after seeing that woman. I would definitely believe him. I'm like, I'm 6'3". This woman, come on now, he's 6'8", 6'9", he's 5'9". Yeah, I would believe him. No, but you're right. If something got out of hand, 9 out of 10, they'll be blaming the man.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely encourage men to also call. And look, hey, I mean, we kind of do a little joking on the serious side. That's just a dangerous game, and there's nothing wrong getting help. If you're getting abused by a woman, that doesn't make you a weak man. It make you a strong man because you could have taken it to another level. So getting help makes you a strong man. So don't ever think because you don't hit the woman back. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been in a situation where women had hit me. I never hit them back. I don't believe in hitting women. That's just me. I teach my sons. But what if she hit me? You just walk away. Or what if she keep hitting me? Then you run. You run. You have to run. Call the police. Hey, my girls beat me up. But any other situation, you run. If you gotta do what I do, jump out the window. But if you're on the 4th floor, hey, just lock yourself in the room.
The police
Call the police until the police come, you know, because like I said, I don't believe in that. My father always taught us, you don't put your hand on women. You just don't do it. You run, lock yourself in the room, what have you. You know, but you're not supposed to put your hands on nobody. So a lot of men are not built like that. You hit them, they're gonna hit you back. Back in my time, we just don't believe in putting our hands on women. You know, we just don't do it.
Another way that women abuse men is they use the police. My dad, almost a year ago, was with this lady, and she wanted to, you know, show some dominance. My dad, he's an older man, and I was actually on the phone when this situation happened. She just starts screaming, and I'm like, you know, Dad, what's happening? He's like, I'm not touching her. I said, well, go outside. I'm trying. My dad lives in Dallas. I'm trying to save my dad because I already knew what shenanigans this woman had in mind. I'm like, Dad, just go outside, like get away from her. Right. Well, the police show up. This woman had beat herself up, scratched her neck, slapped herself, and she was, you know, fairly light complected female. So she scratched herself up, did all these things, and came out the door crying. And of course, the police, with no questions, my dad was on a cane and everything, took my dad to jail, arrested him, took him to jail. And once he went to jail, they cleaned my dad's house out. Her and her son and the grandkids cleaned my dad's house out, took everything that, you know, that was my dad's house, took everything out. You know, he finally got out. And he was traumatized from that. He was traumatized. And so he had to stay away from the house because she could come back, and she had put a restraining order. Well, the courts had put a restraining order because she had physical abuse bruises. Well, the night before, she hit him. Police came out. He showed the bruises. And because she was a woman, my dad felt sorry for her. You know, I don't want to press charges. Next day, she got him arrested. And, you know, nothing has come of it. She went her way. We're still dealing with that with the courts. So that is another way that women put fear in men. If you don't do what I say, I'm going to slap myself around, and then I'm going to call the police and tell them that you did it. And they're automatically going to believe the woman. That man goes to jail. He has a record. He has to pay court costs. He has to do all of these things because she didn't get her way.
And that's another movie. What was that movie? A Thin Line Between Love and Hate?
Yeah.
That's another form of abuse that women do to men now. And, you know, men, they get scared behind that because you don't want to go to jail. You know, that's your job. That's your apartment. That's your finances. And now you got to be going to court to fight against something that you didn't even do. Can you afford a good attorney? You're going to get a court-appointed one that may not fight your case. You know, and she's grinning and smirking. I told you I was going to get you if you did this to me. So I would play it wise. I told my dad, just start recording everything. When you go to the house, just record to show proof, because proof will help you.
Yes, it will.
I mean, it was tedious that every time he had to go to his house that he had to have his recorder on. But I say that's what's going to save you. So the minute these women get to screaming and hollering, everybody records now. Get your phone out and record that stuff to show proof that you did not hit her. Get as far away from her as you can so that you have proof. I mean, it's a shame that we got to do this, but you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Especially when these women want you and they don't want you to be with nobody else. And, you know, that's the stuff they pull.
Yes. And I just want to say I appreciate you being here and sharing all your knowledge and what you're doing. So I just want to give you the last word to say what you want to say, and, you know, let people know what you're all about and what you got going on. And so I'm giving you the platform to go ahead and do what you want to do.
Well, of course, we're hiring, so you can always go to www.dimsdevelopmentsociety.org. Excuse me, that's dimsociety.org to apply. We hire customer service remote, so that's full-time, part-time positions. So, of course, if you're looking for any remote positions or know anyone, we are hiring. And for the women and men who are in domestic situations, get help, get out. Just know you are strong enough to leave. I don't blame you, and you shouldn't blame yourself either. I want you to make sure that you love on you enough to know what love looks like so you won't continue to be in these situations. Get help so you can survive. You got this. I'm a survivor too, so I can only be here based off of experience. You got it. You're stronger than you know.
And also, do you have a like a website, anything for people to reach out to you? If they kind of reach out to you, do you have any way of them to get in contact with you?
Absolutely. You can always go on the website. You can email us. You can, of course, seek help through our membership portal. You can go and request membership. We have different coaches that will help you through your goals, as well as mentors. So you can always reach us through our website, through email, through social media. Of course, I'm on Facebook as Eller Winston, Instagram as El Goddess E. That is ELGODDESSE. I have to remember those things because I'm not social, so I have to remember where I am. But yes, that's where you can find me.
Great. You have been such a, but I'm so glad that we had this time to talk to you. Like I said, it's been like over 3 years. I'm just glad that you got everything going for you. You just glowing. Your life just seems so blessed, and it's just a blessing. I like to hear about happy ending and happy stories. Especially when you it's like your testimony, where you came from, what happened to you, and you just here telling them your testimony, and look where you are. God has truly blessed
you. Living your best life.
Yes. You just have to continue to move forward in life. Forgive yourself, forgive others. You'll be able to see a clear path.
Yes, I love it. We definitely have to have you back on the show again so we can see what else is going on with you, So I'm just happy for you. And before we go, Miss Spicy, do you have anything to say to the audience out there?
Well, first of all, I want to give, all appreciation to Ella. It was such a joy when she reached out. My jaws just dropped and I was just smiling big. Because she's a testimony within herself.
Yes,
she have overcame, and now she is guiding others in the community so that they can also escape as well, but also get educated. I do appreciate you, standing with everyone else and helping us to break this chain as we keep going further. Because as a lot of people know, it has been on a back burner for generations.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't speak about it. They took it lightly. Now it's becoming to the front of the burner and it's on fire. So, things are changing as we keep breaking our silence. And I want to say thank you for, breaking your silence here, using our platform as well to, view all over the world, even in Africa, to help others as well, because it's not just in one state, one city, but it's all over the world. Mm-hmm. And to everyone out there, as I'm going to continue to stand my ground. I need everyone to come in together with us. Ms. Eller is only the first guest, but there's 2 others, but there's many out there that, have lived the life that she lived, walked in the shoes that she walked in. Mm-hmm. Don't ever allow anyone to make you feel like you deserve or you're at fault. Right. No one deserves to be abused on any type of reason.
Yes.
And, if you need any motivational speaking, I'm pretty sure Ella will be more than to come speak.
Well, yes, most definitely.
I sure will.
Yeah. But, just know if y'all want to follow her, I encourage y'all to follow her. She's doing great things in the community. She's doing great things all across the world. People are watching her. So she's becoming very effective. I'm glad she took, her wounds and turned it into a glorious thing, and I thank God for her as well. And may God continue to bless you abundantly.
Yes. Love
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all.
We definitely appreciate you. So glad. Definitely, because you are a big encouragement to everybody. So yes, we are very thankful to have you here. And yes, we definitely need you to come back one day and just keep here with us on the show. Love having you here.
No problem.
Maybe we do a game night with us one day. Who knows? Who say?
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Some
Yo,
spicy
what's
with
that?
spicy Ray. Okay.
You got
Well,
one coming up.
actually, we doing the. What was that? I think it had to do something with the Martin show.
Yeah, like I said,
yeah.
you look at the episodes of Martin,
Yeah,
baby.
it's
That's
gonna
all
be-
I'm on.
yeah. Yeah, so we.
Woo, 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 woo.
Now you gotta. We get competitive now.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that game show. It's all about the Martin episodes. I'm about to catch them on my Martin
I gotta go
episodes.
catch up.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
'cause I don't know.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
the name, because there's 3 different card games on this here, and I'm not gonna tell you which one this one is, but I'm telling you,
That's
it's
all
gonna
right.
be fun. It's gonna be fun. But also know that we give our prizes, so everyone know. I was gonna keep it secret, but yeah, this is gonna be the prize for that show there, and it's every man for themselves. So hey, you never know.
Man,
that'll work. Okay, well,
Yeah,
I can't
Mr.
wait for
Dan,
that.
Mr. Dan's already received his prize from the last game, so he received that already, and I don't know if he already hoped about you to join it or whatever. But hey,
that's all right. It's cool.
we believe in coming from the heart here.
It's cool.
That's not battle for those lights there. I'm gonna have to come pop up and battle for those lights. Listen.
Yeah, that was a game where we had to go run and grab all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a scavenger
You had
hunt.
me stomping my toe.
Yeah, she has planned as a scavenger hunt. Trying to find some. Especially, I ain't had all that stuff in my house.
That was fun though. That was fun.
Those are fun.
Like
I had to go back and look at it. I was laughing. It was fun.
That was Teflon. No, that had Teflon in. That was not no frying pan.
That was a frying pan.
That was not a frying pan.
Mr. Britton, if you look at Mr. Britton,
Dwight was cheating.
No, I wasn't cheating. I don't have to cheat. No, I don't have to cheat to win. But yeah,
But you know that wasn't no frying.
That was a frying
cast
pan.
iron.
Y'all, you know what? I wish she was on the show. That was a frying pan.
Cast iron. It had to be.
Okay,
cast
whatever.
iron.
Whatever y'all
You know
say.
what's the difference now?
He didn't.
That's what I'm saying. But it was still a frying pan.
See.
You know
There's
what?
a difference.
You get a chance, you can go watch that show. I'm telling you, you gonna say, "Oh, Dwight was right. That was a frying pan." Yeah. Then I'm gonna put it in your face. But anyway, I ain't worried about. I'm just going to do this game, the next game. I'm gonna be straight on that. So this one coming up, I'll be ready.
That's a hard game over here. Okay.
Well, before we end, did anybody else have? Do you have anything else you might want to say before we end the show?
Just continue to love on yourself. Continue to treat yourself in the highest depths that you can. Because if you treat and love yourself to your highest, people will love and respect you. I want to say, of course, mind your business. I call it your mind First Thessalonians, but mind your business, live a quiet life. Work with your hands. Respect the girl. Just come to you. So that's my final words. Let's just live our best lives, but living it quietly, working with our hands and minding our business.
Yes, minding our business.
Drink water.
I like that. Keisha, you had anything you got to say?
Yes, you deserve to be free. You deserve peace. You deserve love. You are loved. Yep. Get some help if you need it.
And one more thing, men, don't be afraid to speak out. And, that's the thing. Women, it takes them, but they come out. Y'all hide in the shadow, come out those shadows and seek help. So with that being said, much love. Have a great weekend. And for everybody that watch, we love y'all. And we'll be back Friday. This is the Messing About It month, so we will have another guest. So continue to watch and much love. We out.
Peace.